My name is Bridgette Bell/McAdoo, and I'll tell you why that's such a recent change that has probably made a lot of people have to shift some things around here. We've been changing decks and slides and programs, so my apologies to the staff. You guys have been amazing. But I'm so excited to be back. I actually have not been back here since I left in 2010. And not because I didn't love my time here, but actually, very similar to some of our previous speakers, right after I graduated, I had this serendipitous meeting with the Chief Sustainability Officer for Yum Brands, who at that time had just been appointed and said, hey, your background is quite cool. You work on space shuttles and space station, and you do engineering, and you lead supply chain and ops. Do you want to come work for us? And I said, okay, sure, but I don't want to live in Louisville, Kentucky, which was where the job was. It's hard to leave Los Angeles and go to Louisville, Kentucky. And, you know, I have this mantra in my life and everything I do where I step out on faith and I pray first, and I did. And this was going to be extremely disruptive, right, to my career, to go from aerospace to chicken, tacos, and pizza. And that's not a natural transition. I get asked that a lot, like, how do you go from working for NASA to chicken, tacos, and pizza? And my answer is on purpose. It was very intentional. I wanted to be disruptive in my career, and I don't think I would have been able to do that before coming to Drucker. I actually ended up at Drucker, I don't want to say on a fluke, but it wasn't as intentional as the rest of my life was after experiencing Drucker. I was in an executive MBA program at the University of Texas, and when I got the promotion to come out to California to lead our rocket facility at that time for United Technologies. And when I got to Los Angeles, I was looking for a school where I could finish my MBA. And it just happened that Drucker was the only school that would take my credits at the time and had this flexible program. And I was like, okay, let's give it a try. Fast forward a year later, and my whole life changed. So I already have that mantra about stepping out on faith, which is what I did when I came to Los Angeles. And I already had this mantra that my dad, being a military guy, is listen with the intent to understand, not to respond. Okay, I had that. But after coming here, I had a new mantra in life. And that mantra was, I wanted my passion to fuel my purpose, and I wanted my purpose to nurture my passion. That didn't exist in my life before Drucker. And I actually thank every last professor I have, whether it's Jeremy or Jay or Jenny or Jean. It's like a singing group with all the J's. But I absolutely loved my time here. And one of the things I've always told the faculty is I would not be in the career I am today if it was not for this school. Because I could have graduated from Texas, and they're highly recognized, but I would have been a number. I would have been a statistic. But when I was here, and through the programs here, and especially Executive Mind, having to meditate, which I was like, this is a joke, right? Meditation. But it really helped me figure out that I wasn't living my life on purpose. I was doing what everybody expected me to do, to try to excel and have good grades, but I actually did not know what was going to be next for me. And it has come full circle. So now here I am, here at Drucker Day, and all this change is happening both professionally and personally, and I am so happy to be able to come here and share it because it started here. That change in my life started here. So I'm going to kind of talk about KFC, Yum Brands, talk about how big we are and everything around it. But the reason why I wanted to talk about our business is because I actually work for a company that allows me to live my life through my passion and use it to try to make sure that our purpose reflects it. And in a lot of places that can't happen, and it was a struggle. There were years when I would go to our leadership and I would say, I'm willing to leave if I cannot continue to pursue my passion. Even though I'm working for this global conglomerate that is top of the Forbes 100, I made it clear to them that it was a non-negotiable. I was either gonna live in my purpose, follow my passion, or I would leave the company. And they responded by promoting me to now be the Director of Sustainability for KFC Global as of last week. So here I am. All right. So I have one little selfish plug really quickly. I drove the staff crazy over the past few weeks because not only was I changing jobs and changing titles, but I also changed my last name. Yeah. What's the slow clap? I don't like that. My husband gave me a slow clap. He will be graded on that later. Absolutely. It was too slow. I need you to. So as of right now, this moment, I've been married 3 weeks and 3 hours. And we've only almost killed each other 3 times. So I think that 3 is working for us. It's my favorite number. But here's where we're here to talk about is, people think when I tell them I work for a company like KFC that it is not possible at all that we're committed to our communities or that we're committed to the environment, that we're committed to our products, that we're committed to our employees, because at the end of the day, it's KFC. It's Taco Bell, it's Pizza Hut. And what I have to remind people is that we're bigger than just KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. We're Yum Brands. We're 44,000 restaurants strong in 134 countries. We open a store every 8 hours. You all right? That sink in? Every 8 hours we open a restaurant. And you can't do that without being committed to your people, your community, your environment, and your products. We can't grow unless people want to come back. And we do that because we know that we can give people the opportunity to eat, have a value meal, and nourishment. We can provide jobs and opportunities. So this quote for me is very important. My father knew his purpose. He grew up in the civil rights era. He stood in front of churches protesting with John Lewis just to be able to pray and integrate churches. He knew what his purpose was. And I had already struggled. I was like, wow, what would it mean for my life? What's my legacy going to be? What will I pass on to future generations? And so that question that Dr. Martin Luther King has asked is, what are you going to do for others? And before Drucker, I could not answer that. But after Drucker, I knew that I needed a career where I could leave my footprints in the sand. I wanted to know that I was going to impact future generations. And I wanted to know that when my last days came, that I felt proud about the impact I had, not just in corporate America, but in my community. So I want to talk to you a little bit about our brands. So these pictures aren't good pictures for us, right? Like, why would I show half of this? It's our truth, it's our reality. We're a huge target. We're constantly being attacked by activists, NGOs, consumers, PETA, you name it. I've heard it all, trust me. And at the end of the day, it's a truth we don't run from. We are who we are. We sell fried chicken, we sell pizzas, we sell tacos. But we are really committed to our communities. And I want to kind of dispel some myths when it comes to our industry, right? People see this, I hear every single day, you guys just make people fat. Well, I don't force you to eat the fried chicken because I do serve grilled chicken. But people order with their eyes, right? So the question is how do you get beyond that perception? And our way of getting beyond that perception is we have what we call our sustainability framework. So over the past 5 years, we've really worked hard to look at how do we as Yum push out our perspectives to our brands, and then how do the brands take that and make sure they have impact in society. So we have 4 pillars. The first one being our food, the second one being our employees, the third being our communities, and our fourth is our planet. And I've spent the past 5 years primarily in 2 of these pillars, developing policies, traveling the world to make sure that our markets meet them. And that's the environment and our product and our people. But we always have wanted to have one core mission, to be the global defining company that feeds the world. And that's not a small task. but we're so proud of the work we do, and we don't talk about it a lot because in the past we've been extremely conservative. Like, well, if we tell everybody how great we are we just bragging? Well, now we can honestly say we should brag a little bit more. People should know how great we are and how much good work we do. We've raised over $200 million to fight hunger. And a lot of people have no idea that Yum is so intricately involved with the World Food Program across the globe. Our president, our CEO of each brand, they spend a lot of time in other countries feeding the world. We've had celebrity sponsors. The only time people ever hear about it is if they watch the Kentucky Derby. And most people are watching the Kentucky Derby to bet, not to even look at the commercials. But we do a lot of good work. And we also offer nutritious meals. So if you've gone in our restaurants, you're probably ordering some good old original fried chicken or our deep pan pizza, but we have thin crust. We have salads at Taco Bell. We actually have a whole line of menu at Taco Bell devoted just to healthy eating. And we also have grilled chicken at KFC. And we have opportunities that we develop where other people do not. So in India, this picture right here I love because it's one of our stores that is only devoted to the hearing impaired. Everybody that works there is deaf. Such a cool concept, right? Simple, but it's something that we are very intentional about. When we realize that there's something happening in our community that we can affect change in, we go head first there. My best friend is one of our VPs at Pizza Hut, and when she saw this, she asked me to take it out, and I said, no. Why would you want to show that the Pizza Hut is shutting down? Well, that's what people think about us. They just think we're going out of business. No, absolutely not. Those stores that we're opening every 8 hours is happening every single day. We are a high growth company. So a lot of you probably saw over the past week that Yum China separated from Yum Brands, and now we're two publicly held companies. And that's indicative of the growth that we have, and we're so excited about it. So we also have, when we're growing like this, and our bold ambition is to keep developing, we have to make sure we develop smart, right? So I'm excited to really lead globally one of our initiatives, which we call KFC Building Green. So we actually have green standards, we have LEED standards that our restaurants have to follow when they open up any new store. We don't talk about it. You might see some stuff inside the restaurant, but it is like one of our core competencies within our company. You cannot open a new store unless you follow these standards. Now, of course, we have stores that are inside of a mall or inside of a strip, and you can't do this. But where we have freestanding stores, it is absolutely a non-negotiable. And then we have this myth. We've been talking about this a lot today, and people are asking about what is KFC like? And I always tell them, I wish you guys could see how KFC and Taco Bell and Pizza Hut is outside the United States. I wish you could see how our employees are outside the United States. I think the QSR industry gets a really bad rap, but outside the US, our employees come to our restaurants, come to our stores to have a career. My boss is the COO of KFC Global. He started at the front of the house, at the register. So here we are. Our reality is we create jobs and careers. We are one of the best employees in the UK, one of the top employees in India, and one of the top employees in China. Our brand is the most relevant brand in China. That doesn't happen because we're creating jobs. That happens because we provide careers. And we're very proud of the careers that we provide. So you can't come up here without talking about Peter Drucker, right? So culture eats strategy for lunch. And I don't know how many people, besides maybe Howard, knows this, but Yum is a recognition company. Our previous president and CEO, David Novak, has written many books about it, but we thrive off of recognition. All of us are required to have recognition awards, and it's not something to just kind of throw out there and say, hey, just come up with anything and just bring somebody up. No, it is intentional. People actually have to really think about what their awards are. And it is such part of our DNA that it's a reason why I think people stay. is because we are constantly recognizing one another for the great work we do, and not just in our offices, but we actually go out into our stores and recognize our employees. Our culture is also a culture where we're all required to work in our restaurants. I worked for 2 weeks, frying chicken, serving fries in Manchester, UK. It does not matter who I am, because I was working right alongside the president of KFC, who was frying chicken. He had chicken duty for 8 hours. He did not complain. None of us complain about it, because without our team members, our jobs wouldn't exist in the corporate office. And we're so proud of that. It's part of our culture. It's part of our culture that if you come to KFC, if you come to Taco Bell, if you come to Pizza Hut, you have to go back in the restaurant. There are no hierarchies here. I'm proud of a culture that, regardless of who you are, you know our leadership. We had a Christmas party last year, and it was the first time that my then fiance got to meet the leaders team, and they all came up talking to him. He's like, "You know all these people?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I can go to Roger Eaton's office, to Greg Cree's office, or they're gonna come find you if you don't." They all are so invested. That's part of our culture. When I got back into the office last week, they wanted to see wedding pictures. Greg Cree, Roger Eaton, these are our president and CEO of our brand, and they all wanna, "How was your wedding? Why are you back? Shouldn't you just be relaxing?" That's our culture. It's a culture that when I had to leave the office to go take care of my mother, gave me a hug and said, "Tell us what you need. Work from Houston as long as you want to." That's our culture. Our culture has a commitment back to our employees, and our culture has a commitment back to our communities, because we truly believe that our culture is all about recognition. It's about family first, and we're one big family. Because of that unrivaled culture, we have unrivaled talent. So when I was talking about recognition, this picture shows a whole bunch of our leaders and their recognition awards. So just this Thursday, we had our KFC Business Review meeting, and the first part of it is recognition. And I was so excited because I got to, get recognized by our head of supply chain globally, who I didn't know was going to, but recognized me for all the work I had done with our policies. And as we were talking about this morning, those little things that matter to employees, it matters for someone to recognize you for the hard work you do. But I wasn't the only person recognized. We had our regional managers for our restaurants come in so that we could recognize them and their employees, and gave them gift cards because they work so hard to make our brands great. And we believe in all people. I know that sounds like, kind of soupy, but it's true. Our ambition is that if we make our team member experience great, that they will flow that out to every single customer that comes into our stores. And we work very hard at that. So what does all that mean for me? And what does that mean for KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut? These are pictures of me in every markets that I visit. Just a few, but I look at this picture and it gives me such joy. Before I had even come to Drucker and before I started with Young Brands, I thought I did good with being cultured, right? I thought I knew my purpose. I thought I knew my passion. But then after leaving Drucker and realizing I had no idea whatsoever, I was not impacting the lives of anyone that I was coming into contact with, then came this new opportunity. And what this new opportunity has allowed me is to take everything I've learned here and to spread it across the globe. So the picture with me in the KFC hat that you can barely probably even know it's me, is me working in a KFC. It's us hitting our targets. It's us as a team meeting and exceeding our sales numbers. I was not someone from corporate. I was part of that team Manchester. I was so excited that when we took this picture, we posted it on our social media, and guess who responded? Our president of KFC. Good job, team. That's how interconnected we are. I have a picture with the Colonel. People ask me all the time, "You met the Colonel?" He's dead, y'all. That is not the Colonel. But we do have a fake Colonel. that we take across the globe. But people was like, well, why would you take a picture with a fake colonel? Well, we have this colonel who travels across the globe, and our markets love it, right? Because it's this U.S. brand, and they don't understand what it means. But wherever he goes, our employees are so excited inside our restaurants. They love it. But it's taken me out across the globe. So as you can see here, whether it's Shanghai, Dubai, Mexico City, Singapore, India, Paris, Sydney, London, and Bangkok, I've been all over the globe helping to spread what I learned here, helping to ensure that the commitment that I made to myself and that the commitment that I made to my company, that it flows through our business. I'm excited at the fact that here I'm able to come full circle because now I'm in this role that I fought hard for, that I was intentional about, and that became a non-negotiable. I'm excited because now I get to take all of those core values, that's people, planet, product, in our environment, and I get to create something great and amazing for KFC and the new Yum. I'm excited because I wouldn't have gotten here and understood how impactful this could be if I wouldn't have walked through these doors 6 years ago. I'm excited because I get to come and share with you guys that, yeah, I work for a fast food company, but we are feeding the world. We are nourishing souls, and we are impacting the lives of every single one of the people that walk in our stores every day. So with that, it's not me coming here to speak to you. I'm actually here to just say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to find exactly who I was supposed to be in this life and to share it with you guys.